set up, so it should alert me when the broadcast is actually started. So right now, nobody's seeing this, or what? They won't, nobody will see it. What's that? All right. I don't know. I don't know if this started yet. I don't know if it's broadcasting on all the 30 fucking websites that I have it set up for. But it's okay. I'm just gonna do some riffing and some yiffing and some and whatever. Groupon advertisement. Fuck off. Hey guys, it's Rob. And I'm at the Kmart Plaza, Augusta Plaza, whatever, on Western Ave, in front of Garden Island Cleaners, which I don't go there anymore. I haven't gone there for a long time because I found a better place to do my laundry. I actually can't go to either one of them. That's a long story, though. So don't even bother trying to get me banned from those places because I've been banned for a long time. I've been banned from both Garden Island Cleaners for quite a while. But whatever. I don't fucking care. So tonight was Friday night hangout explosion. Fucking Jesse's little cult circle jerk thing. It's kind of funny though, because he's been going out of his way to not publicly talk about me coming to New York and whatever. And everything I did was within the law. Everything I did was within the law. I was on public streets, and you're allowed to approach the front easement of a house because New York has a law that if there's a building that has more than I think it's like more than like 4 or 5 residents, that it's technically a public building and all this other crap. It's the same fucking bullshit that the Gaber pulls on me. So his front steps are an easement to the property, and you know, the only thing that is unclear is he said contradictory things about how, you know, he did that broadcast once where he said that everything was fine and that I was welcome in his home and stuff like that. So then he said that I wasn't, and then he contradicts previous statements. He says one thing and then he says another. And so I wasn't really exactly sure if I was welcome there or not. But I mean, how am I supposed to know when he contradicts himself all the time and stuff like that? So everything I did was legal. I mean, it was perfectly legal for me to be there. It was perfectly legal for me to use the easement of his front steps to leave a package at his door. I didn't damage any private property or anything like that. So I don't know. And saying that I was coming to his house and shit like that isn't a threat. I legally can come to his house anytime I want. I could be on any public property, use any easement to a building that is considered public, that has multiple tenants living in it and shit like that. So, you know, I'm not exactly sure how many units are in the building. I believe that there's like at least 2. But I don't know. Um, that's not the point. The point, and you know, he and his show have a long time history, documented history of organized harassment on not just me but multiple different people. Um, so I've talked to the police about it. You know, I know he said that he's talked to the police about it, but see the thing is that his show has a history of it. All right, if we went into court, I could just say this show. The whole purpose of this show is to bully the internet. That's the tagline of his fucking show: to bully the internet, to bully people. So I'm a victim of his show and his organized bullying campaign, not just against me, but a bunch of other people, right? So, yeah, I've said and done things in moments of anger where, you know, I mean, there's only so far you can push somebody before, they lash out in anger. I mean, I know that. I do that to people all the time myself. I'm a fucking internet bully too. You know, so I do that to Joseph Martelli and stuff like that all the time. But I backed off. I backed off. The only time I ever fucking talk about him is when he actively pursues me now. I've been trying to stay away from this guy, this pot awful guy. I've been trying to stay away from Joseph Martelli, but just constant fucking references by pot awful all the fucking time. I know he's gonna talk about me again on Sunday, whatever. You know, so I don't know, man. It's like I just I don't know. I just wanted to prove that I'm not a bitch. That I'm not like I did it when Joseph Martelli came here. I confronted him. So I went and confronted, Jesse PS. Like I knew he wasn't gonna come out, and now he's saying that he moved and all this other crap, dude. I have, I have, I know you don't like me calling her this, but I have an ex. Victim. Whatever. Uh, she doesn't consider herself a victim. That's why. I don't know. But what you don't think that I've never had people from her side of the family or her friends go past your fucking house? You don't think that uh, none of them have ever witnessed you letting Chris Hamilton into your fucking house? You don't ever think that back when I knew where you lived, when Skylar was there, that they didn't see Skylar, skateboarding in that park across the street from your house. You don't. I mean, like, dude, I've paid $45 once to have a private investigator sit out across from your fucking house and shit like that. It's all perfectly legal. He's licensed. I did the same. I've done the same thing to Joseph Martelli a whole bunch of times. Everything I've done is inside of the law. So it's pretty funny. I mean, go ahead and like if this ever went to court, it'd be pretty funny to bring up all the crap that you've done to me. I mean, this is a two-way fucking street, dude. I would leave you the fuck leave me the fuck alone. All right? But what is going on here is it's escalation, right? It's fucking I mean to do. I called you. I called you multiple times and said, "What do I have to do to keep you to stop me?" And what I thought I had to do was to show you what level I was willing to, and confronting you was the next logical step. And then he said all this crap about like, oh, I don't think he has a daughter because I've never seen photos or videos of her and all this other crap. Yeah, I've never exposed my daughters to the horrors of the internet. I've never exposed my daughter to trolls and to people like your show. Like, could you imagine what people like Jesse Powell Stroud and Pod Awful would do if they had photos or videos of my daughter or my ex, my the mother of my child, or I don't know. I call her my ex because I don't really fucking know what to call her. I mean, I don't know. Like, yeah, we technically didn't date. I mean, we hung out a couple of times and then we had sex. I mean, I don't think I don't know if that's really dating, but you know, the first and last girl I've ever had sex with. How about that? Well, I've had sex with a couple of people since then, but that's a matter of interpretation, really. Like oral, gotten blowjobs from people and shit like that, and crap like that. But I don't know, man. Like, I thought that showing up to his house was pretty funny. I thought maybe he would respect that on some level because that's like, you know, pretty funny. I mean, I was already going to New York anyways, right? I mean, so I'll tell you what, it was a bitch getting there though, because I don't know Brooklyn at all. So like, I got off at this place called like Kingston something or other, and it was near. It was the funniest place, right? It was near like some kind of like Jewish history museum, right? So there's like all these like Jewish guys walking around like with their cool hats and stuff. I'm not being anti-Semitic or anything, but there. I'm actually being like the complete opposite of it. Like, I respect that they're able to, you know, dress the way that they dress and stuff like that, because it's completely contradictory to modern society in a way. It was pretty funny. I was standing there, and I was at one of those information kiosk things, the Link NYC things, and just trying to figure, because the subway, I have a hard time with the subway because there's like trains with the same numbers, but some of them are going north. Like one, it will be like the A train north or south, and I get my north and south mixed up. Fuck, I get my left and right messed up all the time, right? So I really rely on my phone, and my phone just kept like fucking dying because it was cold, because of the cold. It was kind of chilly, and plus the fucking Greyhound on the way up, the fucking power plug wasn't working right, so it didn't. It only had like a 15-20% charge when I got there. And I had to keep like charging it up to like 30%, and then it would go back down to like 15, 10%, and then I'd have to find another one of those fucking info kiosks because they have the thing for the charging. So it was just a fucking nightmare. There was a couple times where my phone died completely, and then, it was the first night I got there was fucking horrible. It was fucking horrible. So I pretty much, just kind of explored Brooklyn and Brooklyn Heights and Crown Heights or whatever the fuck it's called for a while because I was waiting for the sun to come up. So I was just kind of like leisurely making my way there towards where he lives. Where he still lives. All he did was just move around his studio and put up some false walls to kind of change the shape slightly. I imagine that, we'll eventually see the shit pipe and shit like that. But it doesn't really matter because I'm not going to go back there. I just, it was pretty fucking funny. I mean, I could have easily given his address to like Spooky Charles and shit like that. But I'm not going to do that. I did give when I first found out where he lived, I did give it to I did dox him to Dick Masterson, but Dick already knew where he fucking lived because of they have common people in the industry, and his address isn't as secret as he thinks it is. It's just other people aren't fucking assholes, But I am. I'm a fucking asshole. But it's fucking cold. So yeah, I mean, it was pretty funny that finally somebody, broke the script. And it was that woman Candace, who I don't really know much about. She's kind of pretty. I mean, I don't know. I don't know much about her. I haven't really looked at her internet stuff. But I don't know. I'm trying. See, part of not wanting to have anything to do with Pot Awful is I'm also trying to not have anything to do with people who have to do with Pot Awful. Which is sad because I really like Sticky Who's. I feel like me and him have some common shit going on, and I know people are gonna use that. Go, oh well, we've been busting his balls about him being being allegedly a pedophile lately, and blah blah blah. He isn't. I mean, if he fucked somebody 16, that's not even remotely pedophilia. I mean, even legal people will say that that's not pedophilia. Somebody 16 is 3 years over what the normal age that somebody would hit puberty would be at. So that wouldn't be pedophilia. Pedophilia is puberty, So Sticky Who's would have to have been fucking somebody 10 or 11 for him to be a pedophile. So, man, it's fucking cold. But yeah, it was Candace didn't understand that they're pretending that I've never been to New York and that I'm photoshopping and paying somebody from Fiverr to insert me and shit like that. See the thing is that Jesse doesn't understand that how stupid that makes him sound. It's oh yeah, some guy from Fiverr has a 360 degree green screen studio where he's spending hours and hours rendering a 3D environment around a video of a guy walking down the street, spending hours and hours rendering video and moving video along to the movements of a body as somebody's walking down the street, and then adding in all these other people and elements and shit like that. Their videos are all literally interacting with people and shit like that, So yeah. So it's pretty fucking stupid. I mean, I've only posted 10% of everything that I've ever shot in New York, ever, because a lot of it is, personal shit.
You know, he's like, oh, he didn't have enough time to hang out with his daughter. Dude, like, I only hung out with my daughter and her mom for like half an hour at a Wendy's near the Empire State Building. Right? So, you know, I dare somebody to make a fucking timeline of of my trip of my trip and try to work out where how I didn't supposedly have time to hang out with her, which they won't do because then, you know, that's a lot of well, that's actually a lot of work. But all the photos on that Flickr are geotagged. Like you can seriously like go and well, all the photos that are taken with the native camera from my cell phone are geotagged. Like the creeper shot ones, those are taken with an app that with a special app that the camera runs without the screen working. You know, the screen it takes photos, but there's no preview image on the screen. It runs in the background. It takes photos. So it's a different camera it's a different application than the normal camera. So there's no geotag information on those. Hell, like most, you know, all my photos have geotag information on it. You know, so I mean, I don't know. It's pretty fucking stupid. Like, I don't know. I wanted to be left alone. Like, I wanted him to stop referencing me and shit like that, and I felt like going to his house would, you know, kind of scare him a little bit into leaving me the fuck alone. But it didn't. I mean, I should have realized that that him and Pot Awful are a little bit different than normal people. I think I actually made him angry and made him want to pursue it more. So, I don't know. I mean, I thought it was pretty fucking funny. Other people thought it was pretty fucking funny. Even people in his own group thought it was pretty fucking funny. But I know it because there's not everybody in his group is as loyal to him as he thinks that they are. You know, not everybody is willing to go along with the narrative that he tries to push. I mean, it was pretty funny. It was pretty funny because this Candace woman, I think she's a little bit of an outlier in the group. Like, I think she actually has a life, so she isn't able to sit there on Facebook and like know what the narrative is, what the kayfabe storyline is. So she like said, "Oh, you're gonna talk about Robert Robinson and his trip to New York?" And like I had tuned in like maybe like 2 minutes before she even came on cam, and I was like, perfect. And then, you know, Jesse was like, "Oh, he's gonna masturbate while talking about because I'm talking about him." No, I actually don't like you talking about me. You know, I wanted to watch your show, be a part of your little community thing, and just be a normal fucking, you know, person. Uh, you know, but then, of course, some fucking asshole had to, you know, tell you about my fucking past. And a lot of the reasons why I act so fucking weird is because I've gotten to a point where it's just like, why attempt to be normal? Why attempt to be a nice guy when, you know, somebody's just gonna bring up my fucking shit and just, you know, dump all over me and destroy everything, you know? Like, I don't know. It's I don't know. It's pretty frustrating. It's like people want me to not be, not be the way that I act and shit like that. But they never give me the tools or the opportunity to put shit behind me. It's constantly being brought up and shit like that. So it's just like, what is the fucking point? What is the well? It's like as soon as something like this happens, you just like a crime like this happens. Like I was 22 years old. I was naive of the ways of the world because had grown up in a fucking cult, and I did and and when I escaped, I just went buck crazy wild, doing all kinds of crazy shit. I didn't. I've only talked about what immediately happened around that. I didn't talk about how when I first stopped, you know, getting in that circle of bullshit. Like I didn't talk about how, you know, in my first apartment, I ended up having a whole bunch of people move in with me, including my friend Otto, and then talking about constant partying and like pill abuse and drug abuse and alcohol abuse and buying buying drugs and just for the thrill of being at a drug deal and then just giving the shit away or having having people give me money to buy drugs in their place because they were too afraid to do it, and getting in like going to bars and purposely getting into fights with people, and just like trying to just like experience fucking so